Hi, I'm Paulo from Tupan Games, and today we will finally start the criteria course. This first module will be Criteria 100, and we will cover the basics of criteria. What is criteria? Criteria is a language designed specifically to create RPG rules. RPG rules are usually extensive and big, okay? And we will use this one, okay? Dungeons and Dragons last edition, 2024, for this course. And okay, we have more than 1,000 pages here. What that means? Okay. First, criteria is about automation. It's not about having 100% of the rules and of the game inside criteria. That's impossible. And that's not our goal. Our goal is to automate the game. So let's get this straight clear. You still need to know the rules. So you have to buy the game, of course. And in criteria, we will automate rules for you. But if you don't know what the rules are or what a spell does, you will not be able to play. Well, you start criteria clicking on criteria, and you have this screen. So we will create a new rule, okay? And this is a summary, an overview of what criteria have. We will go into each one of these objects here, or things here, okay? Sheets, information, rules, tables, variables, actions, and conditions. Let's talk about character sheets. What is a character sheet? A character sheet is a numeric representation of your character inside an RPG rule. It's a collection of numbers, usually. It's strength, dexterity, and other abilities that define your character for that specific RPG rule that you are playing. For instance, Call of Cthulhu has some fields in its character sheet. Strength, constitution, size, dexterity, education, and so on. He has sanity points, which Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have, and I am sure that Star Wars does not also. Each RPG rule has different fields. This is a GURPS character sheet. He has other attributes, and even he has so many skills that that they have to list them here. It's another character sheet. Cyberpunk Red. Cyberpunk Red has also another character sheet with other fields, different fields. And Dungeons and Dragons. This is the 3.5 edition, but the 5th edition has some fields, the 4th edition has some fields, the 2nd edition, and so on. The idea is that criteria is able to create any character sheet you want because you define those fields inside Multiverse Designer, inside criteria. Now I will load the demonstration rules. These demonstration rules are loosely based on the Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 rule. And let's look at how we made this character sheet. These are sections. Sections are groups of fields, like the ability group. The ability section has these fields, exactly like the fields here. See? because we made it that way. And the skills are here, just like the skills are here in the Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 character sheet. These are the definition, but how this is used in the game. Here we have a preview window. This is the same character sheet editing that we have inside the game. So you can preview how your character sheet will look for the players and the game master. Let's load one character here, okay? And you will see that every section here is represented here. For instance, the personal one, personal, that's alignment and HP, and they are here. After that, we have the character one. The character has race and size. They are here. Abilities, you already know they are here. And that's the name of the section appear here in the subtitle. So you have a way of organizing these fields in the way you want, okay? But there's more. You have pages. What are pages? Now, we have a special kind of page, which is an inventory page. For instance, the weapons that your character carries. How this works? You declare fields just like any other section, but you have this checkbox called multiple items, saying that this section is in fact an inventory section. Let's see how it looks. You can click on add here and add another weapon, my other weapon, and choose the fields that you have put here. Attack bonus and damage bonus, but you can put any kind of field here, okay? And you can delete the weapon you have inserted and so on. The same can be done by classes or for feats or for shields. This is a way of organizing inventory inside criteria. Let's create the first fields. We will create this 6 abilities, the standard 6 abilities for Dungeons and Dragons: Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. How can we do that? First, we create a section. Just click here and a section is created. Let's call this section Ability. Okay, abilities. And after we create the ability section, we will create the fields. Click here, and you may change here, for instance, strength. So, Dex, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. Okay? After we create a section, to use that section into the game, we will have to put it here. So let's create a page and let's call it the main page. Okay, this is the main page. Main. And in this page, we will add the ability section. Okay. And that's it. let's review this. We have a sheet called character, and criteria may have more than one character sheet, for instance, for objects or for doors or even for monsters, whatever. And this sheet has one page, and it will have others, okay? And now this page has one page section called abilities. After you create this, you can already test how your character sheet will appear to your players. You can click here and create a new character. This is a preview, okay? And oh, I have made a typo here. It's abilities. Okay. So now people will fill this, and let's say that he has 15 strength, 12 dex, normal constitution. It's not much brighter, but it has great charisma. I am trying to make a paladin, and also great wisdom. Okay, we can save this by clicking this button. So let's save it here, and you give it a name, say my standard paladin, Conorian. Okay, and now you can reload it anytime you want and even use it inside the game. Conorian is here. Before we proceed, we should save our game rule. Click save, give it a name, say D20 2024. Let's do the ability check. We will start with the ability modifier. We need to calculate the ability modifier. The ability modifier is this number right next to the ability score. For instance, if you have a 12 on dex, like myself, like my Conorian here, you have +1 in your modifier. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, you are tired of knowing this. You know this by heart. But this is a course, so how can we reach this number from this number? That's why we have this section or this place here called information. Okay, the informations are procedures or functions, you name it. It's something that returns values. In this case, we will create an information that will return the modifier for a specific ability. So let's create an information, and we will name this ability modifier. Okay, and we have two ways of doing this. The first one involves mathematics, and the second one involves a table. Let's remind what we have to do. We need to grab the score, either a strength score, a dexterity score, a constitution score, and divide that score by 2, and subtract 5. So we have to grab that score. And how we grab a score that it is into the character sheet. It's in the character sheet. You will remember that we created our character sheet here, and our scores are in those fields here. So I will show you now how to get these fields and use them in this information. Okay? You use the main stat expression. Here, main stat. To use any expression in criteria, you drag this into nodes, and you will notice that the nodes that can be dragged into turned yellow. I will do it again, okay? Here, I will click on main stat, and that turned yellow. So I drag here, and it creates a main stat node, okay? And this main stat node, you have to choose the stat here. Oh, look at this. The fields are there. However, we are not saying that we are doing an strength ability modifier. It's a generic one. It can be used for all of them. And how do I know which one we are talking about? We will now create a parameter here, an input parameter. I just click here and call that parameter ability. And this ability is a text. This text goes into this field because this field have a text name here, okay? And how we use this ability parameter into this text? Again, this is an expression called parameter value. You just drag this here and use the parameter ability, and the parameter that came into here from an external source, we will get into that later. We will use it to access the field name and return the value of the field. For instance, if we received str here, in the case of Conorian, it will return 15 here because Conorian has strength 15. So let's review what we did. We are creating, we did not finish it yet, an information that will return the modifier from a specific ability. The ability will be received as a parameter. I name it the parameter ability. I could put any name here, okay, but it's best practice to name it as a good name. And this parameter will go into the field and will return the value. But we don't want 15 here. We want to divide 15 by 2 and subtract 5. Remember? Remember? We need to divide this number here or any other by 2 and then subtract 5. How can we do this? It's simple. We have to divide, I will put this here, by 2, and then subtract 5. And that's it. We have finished our first information. This information will be used several times into the game. Players who already know the game will notice that we are not using proficiency here yet, but we will grow with the rules, and we will go page by page until we have the full rule here. Okay, so let's do this without proficiency yet. Now again, let's save our rule, and remember that each time we save, Criteria creates an autosave, and you can always return to your last version if you did something that unwanted. Okay, save file, overwrite it. Okay, and now we have an information that returns our modifier.